Did you ever try kite surfing? It's a great example for innovation. And if you look at kite surfing, it is a combination of surfing and kiting, and both existed before. It's a good example that innovation very often is the combination of existing things and make something even better. I'm a passionate kite surfer. I don't have too much time, therefore I only do it once a year for a week. Just here, went to Egypt with my son and some of my friends. Nice jump, but I tell you, not all jumps are nice like that. And it took me a long time to get there. Why do I talk about kite surfing in the context of design thinking, agile and lean? Because it's a lot about training, experimenting, to really become professional. Now, my name is Andreas Hauser. I lead the App House team. We are an innovation agency with an SAP. We co-innovate with our customers in a creative environment, and our goal is to get innovation into the hands of people. Today, I'm going to talk about unleashing the power of design thinking, agile and lean. Now, what is happening in the industry? In the past, the big companies were eating the small companies. Now, the fast and agile companies eat the slow companies. That's the reason why so many large and big companies, successful companies, want to become more innovative and creative. Now, if you look, what are the secrets of the successful innovation companies? First of all, they all use, or many of them, use technology as an enabler. And it's important that we leverage latest technologies like machine learning, IoT, blockchain, and I'm sure in 6 months there will be the next coolest technology on the market. But I would like to tell you a personal story. A couple of weeks ago, I was for one day snowboarding with a friend of mine, and we stayed overnight at one of his friend's house. And I was tired. They had 3 bedrooms. I wanted to go to bed. The light was on, and I was looking for the switch, just turn off the light. And I said, Elliot, where's the switch? I didn't find it. Then we saw Alexa on a table. Let's try it out. Alexa, can you please switch off the light? Alexa answered, we have many rooms in this house. Then I said, Alexa, can you please switch off the light in this room? I'm sorry, I don't understand you. Which rooms do we have in the house? I'm sorry, I don't understand you. Alexa, you're stupid. I'm not going to answer this question. If you would like to complain, please create a customer ticket. Then Elliot said, you know what, Andreas, there are 3 bedrooms, just sleep in another bedroom. I was sleeping in the morning, going down. I went to the bedroom that we were at the evening before. I said, Elliot, sleeping there, light off. Now, Elliot, how did you switch off the light? He said, I texted my friend and he answered, bedroom light off. Why do I tell you this story? You can have the coolest and the best technology. If people cannot use it, you will have a challenge. That means the second example is a superior end-to-end customer experience. And one positive example is, I like Uber, just not as a disruption example, but more as an experience example. At the end of the ride, you keep your mobile phone in the pocket. You don't need to take care about the tip. You just walk out. You get your receipt automatically. And you know what? There is no user interface. That's, for me personally, an amazing experience. And the third element that these innovation companies have in common is they have a culture of innovation, learning, experimenting, failing. Now, I would like to talk about the SAP journey, the last 15 years with design thinking, agile and lean. And I want to start in 2004. It was Sapphire 2004. Hasso Plattner was preparing for getting on stage, and he was reading a magazine that you see on the left side about design thinking and IDEO. He was reading the article and he went on stage and said, SAP now does design thinking. And we asked him why he said it. And he said, you know what? When we started SAP, I was a developer, I was at the customer, I was sitting beside the user, I was programming, testing with the user, iterating. We didn't call it design thinking at that time, but design thinking remembered him how SAP became successful and how they started a company. And he said at this time, 2004, we probably had 50,000 employees. He said, we specialized in roles, we globalized people all over the world, and we unlearned how to work with our customers and users. And this is the reason why SAP started 15 years ago, getting design thinking into the entire organization. And now also everybody, analysts in the press, everybody talks about design thinking, still now. Now, what's design thinking about? It's about people. You have to start understanding the needs of the people first before you make your technology choice. Now, is it rocket science? Definitely not. And this is the SAP approach for design thinking. We start with discover. We go to the end users. We step into the shoes of the end users. We go a couple of days with the people, see how they really work, a truck driver, a hairdresser, or whatever. We consolidate the learnings of multiple of these research activities. Then we bring IT, business, and the end users on the customer side together. We brainstorm about potential ideas. We create designs, we create mock-ups. Again, we iterate, and then we implement and deliver it. We have 3 steps, others have 5 steps, but to be honest, it's more or less the same. Yeah? It's starting with the end user, having a team with all disciplines and all skills within one team, and then iterating from the beginning to the end. I tell you, it's not rocket science, but it's sometimes very difficult to execute in a global organization. Now, first learning for us is involve customers. This means your users and consumers from the beginning on in the process, and not having this as an afterthought. Then a little bit later, we started with Lean. And we had the following challenge. At SAP, it took us about 18 months to develop a product and get it to the market. In the consumer world, it takes a couple of days, a couple of weeks. And in cloud, you can do it within a day. Now, our challenge was, how can we really significantly reduce this? The other challenge was, we did the research and we saw that our developers invest only 25% of their time in value-adding tasks. That means into development. The rest was being in meetings, aligning, and things like that. Now, there's a very good quote that I really like from Eric Ries, who's writing the book Lean Startup, and I recommend reading the book. It's really very good. Building something nobody wants is the ultimate form of waste. And that's really true. Many software companies build a lot of stuff that nobody uses. When we started with Lean, we introduced multiple elements. One important element was quality, cost, development in one responsibility. Having it tucked, that means we do this in 2 to 4 week cycles. We have one prioritized backlog all the time. Empowering employees was a really important topic. Continuous improvement and learning. And we learned a lot with really applying the lean principles. One thing I personally experienced did not work that well. We separated the line organization and the responsibility for the products, the product owners. This was, from my point of view, personally not working ideal, because we had the managers who just do people management. And these were people having 20 years of experience also in a certain business area. They don't just want to manage people. They also want to be involved, and because they have a lot of knowledge, into the really content discussions. That's one thing that I think was not so perfect. From my point of view, a key learning was that it was really key that we have senior management buy-in from the beginning on, because it's really a fundamental change how you organize and manage your organization. Co-locate cross-functional teams. And I did an experiment at the time. We had 2 teams getting a similar task. One team in the normal setup, people in 4 different locations, working together in meetings and things like that. And there was one team where I said, you all fly together for 1 week. And the interesting thing, the team that was flying together, getting into one room for 1 week, developed something really amazing because they worked together in a Scrum-like way, and at the end of the week, they had an amazing result, and what they designed was developed and shipped to customer in a pretty short time. The other team took much, much longer because they only had a couple of meetings, people worked on other different tasks. Therefore, if you have the chance, getting people together for a certain time into one room, focusing, is definitely of high, high value. Make customer value visible. We tested with lots of customers and end users, and we did this all over the world. And what we even did, we recorded the sessions and let our developers in other locations participate and see and feel the pain of the end user. The next one is about ensuring transparency. It's really important that everybody in the team knows where are we, where are the challenges, and you need to make this very transparent in the organization. And last but not least, we also learned that just focusing on the process, it is not sufficient. There are many people think, let's introduce a new process, let's execute the process. It's really about people, and it's also about the environment. Now, I like this picture about this iceberg, and many people who think about process and tools, this is covering the surface. But fundamental below is culture, behaviors, and the beliefs of the people. And this requires a new kind of leadership. That means if you want to transform the organization, it needs to be more than just applying a new process and looking for some new deliverables. Now we continue the journey, 2012. Design thinking combined with Agile. And many of our customers, they do Agile. The challenge is with Agile, you optimize the development process and become more productive, and you can develop something very fast. The challenge is if you get garbage in, you get very efficiently garbage out. And design thinking helps you doing the right thing. It complements very nicely. Therefore, you need to combine design thinking and Agile methodologies from the beginning on, involving the end users in a very iterative way, and get something implemented and into the hand of customers. This is what all matters. And Jürgen Müller just recently, in a keynote at SAP Now in Berlin, talked about following formula. Innovation is creativity multiplied with execution. You know, we are all trained from school to execute, yeah? And we try to optimize our organizations all over, become more efficient, more productive. That's an important element. The second important element is creativity, and everybody can be creative. Yeah? It's not just a few people. If you get multiple people with different skills, with different backgrounds into one room and let them become more creative, you definitely will get some good results. But it does not help you do design thinking, create post-its, create some new ideas, and nothing happens. It means you need to execute it. It doesn't help you to execute something that people don't need and want. And that means it's the combination of creativity and execution. Now the learning number 2 is combine design thinking and Agile methodology. Now our journey continued, 2013. Design thinking for customers. And this is where I start building up my team, the App House team. And the reason why the team was created is customers complained about usability of SAP. And what you see here is probably 30-year-old UI technology that still many of our end users use. And why do I show you this picture? That's an old technology. The challenge is to replace this. It's not so easy. SAP developed more than 300,000 screens. We have 15,000 partners. We have 400,000 customers who developed in the last decades using our technology on user interfaces. And at some of our big customers, 30 to 50% of the screens that their users use are even not SAP standard screens. They are built by themselves or by partners. And that means to get to a new experience, it's on the one side where SAP has to deliver in standard products, but also our customers with the custom built screens, need to refine and get into a new experience. And as part of our overall design thinking journey, we also invented Fiori, getting a consistent experience across all SAP solutions. That means in on-premise, but also in cloud. It's definitely a big task for SAP, and we do this with high pressure. Everybody in the board is behind. We go full speed in getting more and more of our applications into the Fiori world. But that's also need on the customer side. That means also the IT organizations on our customer side need to invest into new skills. Building HTML5 screens is using, for example, SAP UI5, applying a new way. Therefore, it's really important that we do this together as partners. Now, what you see very often, we talk a lot about data, and there's so much data available. Everybody now uses IoT and collect data. The challenge very often is there's so much data, people don't know what to do with it. That means what you need to do, you need to combine the data you have with the needs of the people and make something meaningful out of it. How do you do it? We offer our solutions, the intelligent enterprise, intelligent technologies, and the digital platform, where you can get something meaningful out of data. And on the other side, you need to understand the needs of the people. That means you need to apply a human-centered innovation approach to get the data, the technology combined with the needs of the people. And then you create real business value for your company. And that's what innovation is all about. It's not just about creating an idea, it's about getting an idea into the hands of people. And finally, it needs to create a value. That's really key. And with this approach, you're definitely able to do this. Now, let me tell you one story. Costco. It was about bakery forecasting. They have about 500 bakeries, and they produce a lot of waste. Make an example. A baguette is a one-day article. If they don't sell it, they have to throw it away. They give it for good, yes, but still, if they can optimize their planning, they will save a lot of money. What we did, we went into 4 bakeries, and we observed how the bakery managers work. Then we created the user journey. We said, okay, this is the way how people start the planning in the morning. This is what they do on paper. And they tell you there's lots on paper, which is still done. And a lot is in the head of the people. Now we looked at the journey. We identified where are the most critical things. And then we came together with business, IT, and their end users. And the picture that you see here, you see Jeff with the glasses. He's the senior vice president, responsible, I think, for 11 billion revenue. And on the right side, on the wall, you see a bakery manager. And they were all in one room. That means IT, business, and end users work together. And at the end of the 2-day workshop, I was part of this. One of the bakery managers told me, you know, Andres, what? You just moderated us. And I'd say, you know what? You were even creating the first screen on your own. You went to the board and you draw the first mock-up. And we see very often in our customer engagements that IT tells us, you need to have following features that we have to implement. And then if you ask the end user, they say, you know what? Not for me. I have other things that are even more important. What's really important, this approach brings the people together, business, IT, and end users, and bridges the silos also on the customer side. Now what we did, we created UI mockups. We started, and therefore we need to have design skills. It's an important element also. We visualized the ideas. First of all, low fidelity. Then we created a high fidelity clickable prototype in Fiori and helped the user to do forecasting. You know, with this, we didn't really create code, but we could very easily iterate. And it's pretty cheap to make iterations on this. And I tell you what, the picture says more than 1,000 words. You don't need to have 100 pages of specifications that even nobody reads. Now what we did, we applied machine learning in this project because forecasting depends on, for example, are there events at this day? How is the weather? How was forecasting in the past? And we fed the training algorithm with this information. Now the result is that the machine learning algorithm forecast is 5% better than one of the best bakery managers. This is business value. And they use it live. It's in production, and the end users are really excited. And one quote we got also from the customer, it was really key to involve the end users from the beginning, because you know what happens? They feel involved. They are heard from the beginning, and they wanted to use the solution. Very nice example, very good story. Now our journey continued. We got more and more requests from our customers where they said, no, we have the app houses, there's a cool locations, they don't look like a typical work environment, we co-innovate together, we use design thinking as a methodology, and more customers start asking us, can you help us building a culture of innovation? And what does this mean? I told you before, it is not just about the process. Yeah, the process is about combining design thinking and agile, doing this in an iterative way. But it is a lot about the people. You need to have business skills, the technical skills, the design skills, people who have empathy for end users and can help translate what people say to what they finally really mean and visualize the requirements. And last but not least, we also learned that the space and the place where people work has a huge impact on creativity. And I would like to show you a quick video of our app house in Heidelberg. That's an old tobacco building. You walk in, you walk by a Wing Tsun studio and a kindergarten, and we co-innovate with our customers in this space. It's not just going there doing a workshop and creating post-its. It's one part of the entire journey. We typically start with a workshop, but then we go to the user on site, we iterate and get the results. And the pictures that you see are our meeting rooms, and they were designed and created by the team. I gave the task to the team and I said, you know what? You design the space on your own. Here is your budget. You can now buy a sofa for 500 euro or 5,000, I don't care. But don't go over budget. What now happened? They went to second-hand shops, they brought a sewing machine, they created stuff on their own. And the big impact, or the big change was they all identify now with the space. It's their space, and it has a huge impact on employee motivation. Now let me tell you another story. Rolls-Royce, MTU, they produce these big motors. And that's their business. And they wanted to change their business model to get into the service business. We were approached, they were asked us, can you train us in design thinking? Oh, no problem. We did it. We trained people in design thinking. But we said, guys, it's not just about training people in a methodology. We need to practice this in a very concrete project and really get innovation into the hand of people. We did the Hybris project, we did 2 Leonardo projects, the digital twin project, and to really practice also together how to apply this in a very concrete example. Now the interesting story about this one, MTU built up a team of 10 design thinking experts reporting to the chief digital officer, and they now drive the design thinking and agile within the entire company. And even they found out that they need to have design skills. They even hired now 6 design experts in the organization. And we supported them on their journey to get design thinking and agile into the organization. The funny thing is that now even this team at MTU is asked by their customers, can you help us? That means they are seen as thought leader. Very nice story where you see the combination of how innovation culture helps to get innovation in the hands of people, and how we help also our customers, not just with technology, but also with an approach, with our experience to finally get innovation into the hands of people. Now we also offer a tool that helps you to understand what is your maturity level regarding innovation culture. It's a questionnaire, 30 questions. It's for free. Just try it out. Go to fosterinnovationculture.com. And there are 4 levels. You will see in the dimension of people, process, and place where you are. And to be honest, it's a door opener. It's a startup of a conversation. And typically then we start having a workshop and seeing what fits best for you as a customer to do the next step in your own journey. We also know that we need to invest into scaling. Yeah? Therefore, we started creating tools. One tool is Scenes. And the reason why we created this tool, you get this on our webpage, and it's for free, you can download it. Many companies hire graphics designers to draw some stories. Most people cannot draw. Now the tool that we created, Scenes, you have some figures about people, a mobile phone, some backgrounds, and you can model certain scenes without having drawing skills and having a dialogue how the user journey is. Try it out, it's for free. You have more than 15,000 downloads all over the world already. And a new tool that we created is Mosaic. Mosaic is a tool if you would like to build up a creative space in your organization. It's a tool that helps you doing this together with the team. And it's really interesting to see that last year we did 10 projects where we helped our customers building up a creative space. And if you would have asked me 6 years ago that we are offering these kind of services at SAP, I would have never dreamt about it. Now, the next learning is foster a culture of innovation in your organization. Now the journey continued. It's also about leadership. If you want to transform the organization, the top-down approach is not going to work. Why doesn't it work? Because it's too slow. We talk about humanizing leadership, and I would like to give you some examples. You have to lead with passion. If you want to transform, there needs to be somebody who really has a passion about the topic and where people are looking up to. Now, here's an example of Toby, one of the managers in my team, and since a long time. And Toby had a passion for future of work and empowering employees and new leadership style. And he was creating an article in our internal portal about our experience, and he was writing a couple of examples. Okay, egoless leadership, egoless leadership, and empowering employees. And he said, you know what? Whoever wants to discuss about this topic, we invite you for breakfast into our app house. And we started this. And what happened out of this? It became a breakfast session every 4 weeks. We have now probably 200 to 300 people from SVPs to gardeners from the company coming together and talking about the future of work. And this only happened because of the passion and because we allowed it to make it happen. And therefore, the next thing is it's about egoless leadership. It's not about me as a leader of the team. Here you see a picture. I'm sitting just with the employees. The most important thing is the team and the employees. And it's not about anymore the hierarchical thinking. Not at all. We work as one team. And it's about this third element is empowering employees. And I told you the story about people that I gave the task to the team to design the space. And I have another pretty interesting story. There was one morning when I came into the office and they got at eBay, I think 10 of these cable rolls. The guys, what are you doing with this crap? Andreas, wait a little bit. What they did, they created standing tables. They created a bookshelf out of this. And you see and feel that this is not, would say, something really extremely shiny, something where the people really identify themselves with. And you can try it out. It doesn't cost you more. I tell you, our space doesn't cost more than any other SAP space. But you let the people decide. And that's the big difference. The learning 4, you have to humanize leadership. You have to try out new models. And I tried out a lot. And some things didn't really work out. But some things work very, very well. And I was asked, Andreas, what is your gesture of leading the team? And I said, it's this. I have a very creative team. They would like to get as much creativity and freedom as they want. The challenge is that sometimes they don't get it really goal-oriented. And my goal is to really define the boundaries, let the people be creative, but finally achieve a goal. And I'll tell you, this example Scenes that I showed you and Mosaic, I never asked for it. And there are many amazing things coming out of the team. But on the other side, there are also projects where we invest 30 days and ask guys, why did you invest that much time? If I would have known this before, I would have killed it. But you have to allow it. Otherwise, you won't be successful. Now, where are we now? 2019, today. We achieved time to market, 3 to 6 months. We achieved an employee engagement index, it's our internal employee survey, of 86%. And in 2018, SAP was winning 175 employer choice awards and recognitions to be an employer of choice in all the different countries. And we are very proud, but I tell you, this experience was not just very linear. It was many ups and downs. And now what is the future? The future is about scale. How do we get design thinking, agile, the methodologies into the hands of many, many, many more people? We are working on best practices, offering tools, like an innovation culture tool we are now working on that we will offer our ecosystem to help scale and really help getting more innovation into the hands of people. Now, what are the recommendations? To summarize, first of all, involve your customers, your end users and consumers from the beginning on into the project and iterate. And I just recommend, try it out. Go half day with the end user, go half day with the truck driver or with the people. I tell you, it's going to open your eyes. The second thing is combine design thinking and agile and doing this in a very iterative way. The third, foster a culture of innovation. And last but not least, humanize leadership. Now, I would like to come back to my kite surfing story, and I would like to show you a nice video when I started to learn jumping. And I had a trainer, I had a coach who looked at me, gave me some tips and tricks, and I would like to show you now how this jump worked out. And I tell you, it was important for me on my journey to learn kite surfing to have somebody who's real expert that I can learn from. I had somebody who coached me. He was looking and giving me some feedback. And it was a lot of experimenting, falling down. Sometimes it hurted. And I want to show you one other example. It was also a kite trip that we did 4 years ago, where I was doing a jump and falling down and breaking my foot. And it took me 1 year to recover. But I tell you, exactly 1 year later, we again went kite surfing because I have a passion for it and I didn't stop. Why do I tell you all of this? It's about experimenting, it's about failing, it's about learning, and it takes time to get innovation culture, design thinking into the organization and make it real. I hope the presentation was helpful for you, giving you some tips. And I'm very interested getting your feedback and getting a conversation. Thank you very much.